Namaste and Lakach Jayom Guru. Loving greetings to all of my dearly beloved brothers and sisters everywhere all around the world. Blessed we are to be getting together for our energy traffic report again today. And lots of energy going on today. So let's settle in. Let's get started. I'm glad to see that we're getting together, awake and ready to start our day in the right way. At least I hope you're catching this this during, the early morning. The earlier in the day, the better, to be able to get in tune with the energies that's going on today so that our life can go smoothly, right? If everything's going perfect in your life, well then, you're in tune with the universe, right? Everything's going great. If it's not, well, that's all right. Right? The universe is going to help you by pointing out where it's wrong. And then, of course, well, we're here to help you figure out what is the energies for today, how to get your life into balance so that you can live a happy, harmonious life. So let's get down into this energy traffic report for today. As I said, lots of energy going on today. Lots to talk about. Well, let's get our galactic calendar, right? And we want to open to the 7th moon, the resonant moon of attunement. And we see that we are in this final week, this yellow, flowering, blossoming, coming to fruition kind of energetic week here. And where are we? Well, we're right here in the middle of the week. And we see we've got a lot of symbols going on here, indicating a lot of energy going on here today. Well, the first thing we're seeing that I notice here is we have this little green symbol up here in the corner indicating that today is a galactic activation portal day. Right? That means the energy is going to be much more intense today. Now, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, well, that's going to depend on whether you're in harmony or out of harmony. And really it's a good thing either way. Because, well, I say a good thing or a bad thing. A good thing when you're in harmony, these galactic activation portal days means your day's, just fantastic. Even better than usual. Right? Because that harmony in your life's being magnified on the galactic activation portal days. And it is even a good thing if you're out of harmony, that disharmony on these galactic activation portal days is going to be magnified. Why is it a good thing? So you know where you got work to do, what you need to fix. Right? I know no one wants to hear that there's anything wrong with us, right? And nothing wrong with me, right? Well, if we're honest with ourselves, we might find something's not quite exactly how we want it in our lives, right? And if it's not, well, on these galactic activation portal days, that imbalance, that's going to be magnified so that we can see where the work is needed and to fix it, right? Because if we don't see what's wrong, we're not going to even try to fix anything, right? Galactic activation portal day. And this is the first of 10 consecutive galactic activation portal days. This happens twice in our 260-day Zolkin cycle. And, well, we're going to be feeling it. It's going to be 10 days in a row. Usually there's a galactic activation portal day, quite intense energy, and then the next day we're back to okay again, right? And then, well, every once in a while, we see there's 2 galactic activation portal days in a row. So, well, we got a couple of interesting days, right? Well, in this case, we're going to have 10 very interesting days. Now, if things are hard out there, don't hesitate to get a hold of me. We can talk about it and work it out. Okay? If things are also fantastic and wonderful, get a hold of me. Tell me how your life is just going so wonderfully, and especially wonderfully on these 10 galactic activation portal days. Oh, I know I'm about to have the most wonderful 10 days of my life. So, well, we have another symbol in here right next to our solar frequency here. indicating, we see this little dragon symbol. That means that it is a Votan clear day, right? Today, Votan has indicated that the energies going on today are something we should be paying very close attention to, right? Very close attention to this energy today. Being in the Galactic Activation Portal Day, that's kind of important, right? We really only have, if I'm not mistaken, only two is it 2 or 4? Better double check. I think it's 2 Galactic Activation Portal Days that are also Votan clear days, right? So very much energy going on today, more than usual, right? So tomorrow won't be a Votan clear day, but it'll be a Galactic Activation Portal Day for the next 10 days in a row. Today, just this one day of Votan clear. Okay. So next we want to see what our tone and frequency is. We see for our tone, we have the 2 dots. We know this is Ka, the lunar tone of challenge, right? And the lunar tone of challenge is coming together today with, as we can see, CIMI, white Worldbridger CIMI. So today we say white lunar Worldbridger, right? So now that we know the tone and the frequency for today, next step is to go into the back of our calendar here where we have all the tones and frequencies explained for us kind of briefly, but still a very good explanation. Something, we first have to understand before we go deeper diving into the oracle, which is coming up soon. In the near future here, we'll be switching over from reading this calendar over and over and over and over and over and over and over until we're like, okay, heard it enough. Now I want to move on to something more. Then we're going to get into the oracle. Instead of reading just this little part, a little tiny bit about the galactic signature and the tone, we're going to go deeper and maybe read a couple pages of information about the solar frequency and the tones and stuff. So we see the lunar tone of challenge is on page 5. And the lunar tone of challenge has 3 key words. It's the lunar tone of challenge, so challenge has to be one of the key words. Stabilize and polarize, right? That's what this energy today, half of it, what the tone is telling us, what the solar frequencies, how it's going to be affected, right? How it's going to be like, right? Polarize, stabilize, and challenge, right? This lunar tone of challenge. Our quote, all antagonisms are complementary. Well, that might be a new one for some of us, right? All the things that are antagonizing you, bothering you, right? Those are complementary. Those are here to help you, not hurt you. What? To help us grow, to help us learn something, to help us get stronger. Maybe develop some more patience, right? Well, from Hun comes Ka. From the oneness comes that lunar tone of challenge. Opposing forces working together, counterbalancing each other in a field of stability. Black and white, night and day, good and evil, work and play, the yin and yang. The beauty of relationship represents the essential dance of two. Everything defines and is defined by its polar opposite. We are described and highlighted by what we are not. It is said that if the valleys filled up, the mountains would disappear. Tonka helps us to see that it is light which creates shadows. Right, right, something we might, I thought I was creating the shadow. Well, there'd be no shadow unless if there was no light, right? So it's the light which creates shadows, not us, not things. That winter and summer are but two products of one force experienced from contrasting positions. Night and day are faces of the one earth as it revolves. Polarized states we encounter in daily life can serve as extremes which challenge us. Right? We love to overcome challenges is our favorite thing to do. The moon, keeper of lunar lunacy, reminds us that as we can only see one side of her at a time, so too might we be restricted to only one side of a perceptual equation. If we overlook the inherent unity that opposing forces are born of, polarity is experienced as duality. Right? Duality, right? Up one day, down the next, right? Duality. The destructive illusion of separation denies that counterbalances exist to serve each other. Challenges that appear as hardships and struggles, when seen from another perspective, can bear the blessings of opportunity. Tonka encourages us to stabilize challenge by revealing opposition as a catalyst to generate holistic awareness. Embrace challenges as stimulating soul growth. Right? We're looking at challenges now from a whole different perspective. We've been looking at these challenges perhaps as something that's just ruining our life. And we may shake our fist to heaven and say, God, why are you doing all this? Well, maybe God wants you to be stronger. Learn something. Have an interesting experience. So that's Ka, the lunar tone of challenge. That's half of our galactic signature. Next, we want to turn, let me see, a couple pages here, and find White Worldbridger CIMI on page 10, where we see White Worldbridger CIMI has 3 keywords: equalizes, death, and opportunity. Remember, Pacal Votan said pay close attention to these energies today, right? We really want to in tune with these energies today. Equalize, death, and opportunity. And this is not that kind of death where we're dying, right? It's the death to sorrow and suffering. It's the death to things when they've worn out, they're gone, they're done, right? The old shoes just got so many holes. They're just falling so much apart. There's nothing left to the shoestring. It's dead. Throw it away. Right? Everything in the world is doing that. Only spirit and the soul that comes from spirit is changeless and everlasting. White Worldbridger CIMI. You were, you will be, know this while you are. Your spirit has traveled both long and far. It rose from the source, and to the source it returns. The spark which was lighted eternally burns. Right? Do you see death here? Right? Oh, death, yeah, but not for you, not for me. Where that eternal spark that once it's been lit can never go out, can never be extinguished. We are eternal. But everything in this world, not so. even including our bodies, isn't it? Things seem to last a long time. The mountains seem to last forever, don't they? Well, you go back a few million, maybe billion years even. Those mountains weren't there. White Worldbridger CIMI represents revelation, realization of the mortality of the physical body, the organic balance of life and death, the realm of neutrality, which facilitates bridging and connection, intimate exchange with the spirit of the ancestors. As a force of equalization, one of the key words, right? Equalize. As a force of equalization, the inevitability of death humbles us all. As we contemplate how all things have an eventual ending, we are drawn into the richness of the now, right? Isn't it that when we realize this isn't going to last forever, you better enjoy it now while you can, till it wears out, it's all gone. With the perception that death equals opportunity, we find a sacred key that speaks not only of our imminent passing beyond this physical body, right? Not dying, just moving beyond this body, but also in regards to ego death, right? We don't like to kill the ego here at our Awakening Consciousness Fellowship. We train the ego to become a loving servant and friend. And when we mean by the death of the, we mean the death of that ego that is, keeping our life from being good, and changing it into dying to its old way of being a problem to us, to being a helper to us, the ego, right? It can be. We're not here to tear ourselves down. We're here to build ourselves up. So we're not going to try to tear down the ego. We're going to control the ego, tame the ego, train the ego to be a loving servant and friend. By continually shedding what no longer serves us, we learn to yield to death as a natural overturning of cyclical processes, right? A natural overturning of cyclical processes is what this death thing is. Releasing identities and surrendering attachments grants us access to new worlds, right? CIMI is the Worldbridger, right? Well, White Worldbridger asks us, what within your life is asking to be let go of, ended, to make way for a new cycle of beginning? Right? If you keep holding on to the old stuff, how can you grab onto the new? And if the old's not serving you well, why are you holding on to it so tightly? Let it go. It's not serving you. What is discovered when we contemplate our human mortality? How can we overcome fear of death and find trust in the journey of life? How can we honor the reality of death in all its facets as a sacred ally of life? Very good questions to sit down and try to contemplate today. Or maybe you have a good friend, you can talk with them about it maybe, if they're open to hearing these kinds of things. Let us welcome the power of death to liberate us from self-defeating habits, fears, and limitations. A succinct mantra for aligning with this Worldbridger, white Worldbridger CIMI power is, I surrender to opportunity. I surrender to opportunity. Right? Challenges, we can surrender to those challenges, accept those challenges, embrace those challenges, and see them now as an opportunity to either experience something new, to grow in knowledge and wisdom, or to grow in strength somehow. Our quote to wrap up this white Worldbridger energy comes from Peace Pilgrim. She said, when you know, and I love this, this is one we often forget because I see so many people out there crying and worrying and all, but that must be because they forgot their divine beings. Right? Listen to this. It's so wise. When you know that you are only wearing the body, which can be destroyed, that you are the reality which activates the body and cannot be destroyed, how can you be afraid? What are you afraid of? Right? If you're afraid, you think, oh, I could die. I'm afraid to die. Why? Because you don't know death. Because we only fear things we don't know. When we know death, it's our best friend. Comes and goes quite regularly for us. We don't die. The death of this physical body, I'm saying. The death of this shirt. The death of these pants. The death of this phone I'm talking on right now. The death of these cards. They're all going to wear out. And we need to accept that and say, all right, but we're not afraid. That doesn't bring us fear. Because we know we're eternal. And that it's just going to be just a new adventure. Then how can you fear death or anything? Right? You're going on a wonderful new adventure. Right? When your old car wears out and you get a new car, are you sad and disappointed and worried and scared? Are you happy and excited and saying, I'm getting me a new car today. I just can't wait to be driving around in this new car. Well, the soul even says, oh, I can't wait to be driving around in a new body. Right? But if we get the ego kind of takes over, we get lost in understanding what's really going on here. And then we're afraid of things because, well, we didn't understand. If you don't understand, you're going to be afraid. When you understand, the fear's gone. So that is the second part of our galactic signature, the solar frequency part. We've seen the tone, we've seen the solar frequency. Let's open our workbooks now to get an idea and reading of what it is when we blend these two energies together for our galactic signature of the day. Do some drawing and coloring. So today we're on page 106. Where we see that today's galactic signature is Kin 106, white lunar Worldbridger, Pacal Votan clear, Ka CIMI HUNAB Ku, right? White Worldbridger CIMI is conjoining today with Ka, right? So Ka CIMI is the galactic signature, but we can't forget, since it's a galactic activation portal day and a Pacal Votan clear day, right? Today it's a mouthful, right? Pacal Votan's clear, Ka CIMI HUNAB Ku. Pacal Votan's clear, Ka CIMI HUNAB Ku is how we say today. After unification of the magnetic tone of purpose comes stabilizing the lunar tone of challenge. White lunar Worldbridger, Pacal Votan's clear, Ka CIMI HUNAB Ku guides and teaches us to focus on allowing the necessary deaths to occur, to create new opportunities and renewal By respecting and embracing the two polar ends of each spectrum, acknowledging their vital roles of counterbalancing each other, and by surrendering our ego's need to control in order to relax into the grace of the larger plan. White Worldbridger, Pacal Votan's clear CIMI HUNAB reminds us that all of this natural world is built on polarity, or in other words, duality. So, we would be wise to recognize that every challenge offers us continuous opportunities for growth and expansion. Every challenge is an invitation for us to shed habitual reactions and for us to find new strength. Challenges release victory. For how can you have a victory if you never have a challenge? White Worldbridger, Pacal Votan's clear CIMI HUNAB encourages us to bridge worlds through equality and neutrality. In a heart-awakened existence, we can bridge two worlds, the material world and the spiritual world, so that we are in the dream of this material world, yet not attached to it. The cauldron of creation is inviting us to find and attain victory and gain new strength by metaphysically moving through sacred portals of self, confronting obstacles, and integrating illusory separation, right? We call it illusory separation because really there is no separation, but it sure seems like it. Whimsical spontaneity is a vital and versatile ally as we journey through the dream of this world of apparent dualities and disruptions, right? Again, apparent dualities, apparent disruptions, right? Because there is nothing going wrong. It's perfect. And if you could see and understand and see it from a higher level consciousness perspective, it would be very clear to you what's going on. And you wouldn't be having this uneasiness inside, because that's what this uneasiness is caused from. Not knowing exactly what's going on and knowing that you don't know what's going on. When you know what's going on, then it's no worries no more. So these apparent disruptions awaken us to the endless field of potential that always exists all around us, just waiting to be seeded with our truest intentions. Right? We are in a garden of energy, and it's just waiting for us to use our intentions to create whatever we want. It's waiting, and right? And those, as we teach in our evening classes, the Kriya Yoga classes, right? Those sparktrons of God's life are just waiting for the command of our mind, right? So, well, now that we know what today's galactic signature is and what we're matching up with, kind of trying to be like today so that we can be like it all the time, right? Not clinging to things, accepting, right, challenges, and even embracing them, enjoying them, looking forward to them, right? That's going to change our whole life. Well, we want to draw in color now, so let's draw this archetypical glyph of CIMI. Pretty easy one to draw. Right, we draw this square, we draw this little squiggly line coming from the top down to the side over here. Along this little squiggly line, we have this little double bump here, and a little double bump here. Looks like we got a little sidewards teepee going on over here maybe or something. I don't know what that's all about, right? And then, of course, here's this little slash mark with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little hash marks on it, right? And we don't have to color it today. It's white. White Worldbridger CIMI. Right? This is the archetypical glyph part that's waking up something in our memory, in our all-knowing consciousness here, as we look at it every time it comes up. And maybe when we meditate, we may want to gaze at this and see just what comes out, right? And next, we want to draw the 2 dots right next to it like this so that we can, have this indication of this lunar tone of challenge conjoining with this white Worldbridger. Gimme. Right? We want to color these red today because we're in a red, right, initiating wave spell. 13 energy days that are like a wave of energy that we're kind of surfing, right? Whether we know it or like it or not. Right? In life, you have to surf. Now, if the waves are coming and you're not in tune with them, well, your surfing experience in life is not going to be a good one. But if you can get in harmony with those waves, right? Just like that surfer, the professional surfer who harmonizes with the wave. He's one with the wave. And wow, is that beautiful. Right? And that's how people's lives are, that they have it, what we call having it together, right? Their life's just beautiful. They're surfing this wave of life perfectly. We all wish we could do that, right? Well, this is how we learn to do it. You have to practice doing it. I doubt very seriously that guy grabbed the surfboard, ran out into the middle of the ocean, ran out into the ocean and did that perfect surfing the very first time he hit a wave. No, he probably got completely wiped out the first time. And maybe even a lot of times. And eventually he got better and better. Or she. So after we draw in color, we're going to want to fill in our blanks here. Oh, and we're going to run out of time. Fortunately, my recorder has run out of time. Sorry. I'll try to get a little more recording time going for us. Thank you all. You can give me a call if you want to talk about this day's energies. We'll talk to you next time. Bye now.